Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. So today I have some garden videos I'm going to be sharing with you with all of our different gardens that we have and our fruit trees and all of our berries and everything that we have here on the farm. It's going to be spread out over several days. It's not all going to be done in one day, so you're going to notice that there is a progression. Like when I did the first video of the first garden, then you're going to notice how it's grown up. But I will go over that as I do the video. So enjoy the video. Okay, so I thought I'd hop on here and show you what we're picking today. So I started picking and then I thought, oh, I better show you guys because this patch is crazy. So we planted 6 strawberry plants in here last spring. And as you can see, I'll be doing some thinning. I told Mike I want to get another one of these raised beds in the fall and put it somewhere. I'm not sure where we'll put it because we've got all of our raspberry bushes that we transplanted there and our blueberry bushes down there, so we'll figure that out. But anyways, I'm going to be thinning the patch, but I wanted to show you that because we've gotten so much rain, we've lost quite a bit. So what's in the bowl is good so far for us, and what's on the ground will be for the chickens. So I'm in here picking, trying to get this done. It's a nice cool day, and it's a perfect day for picking. I kind of feel like it's going to start raining though soon, but I wanted to show you. They are just hanging in clusters. You can see them over there. They're just so many this year. I'm just quite impressed. This is our second picking too. So let me get back to picking and then I'll show you the end result. Okay, it started raining, but this is what I ended up with. It's a pretty big bowl, as you can see with my hand. Oh, my hands are filthy from picking strawberries, gross. We're gonna go give these to the chickens. So yeah, I'd say we've got another picking or two off of it, so it's doing really good. All right, let me go get these to the chickens and get these other ones in the house. We have a bunch of fruit trees on the property that we've planted over the years. So this one right here is our peach tree. So it generally does pretty good. We've really had to trim it back. See that it's got little peaches coming up on it, but this is a battle we have with usually the Japanese beetles. Once they start getting like where we can pick them and do something with them, the Japanese beetles get a hold of them. So it's always a battle. We're fighting with them, trying to find the right time. You can see that we have a bunch growing right here. So that's our peach tree. And then over here we have our blueberry bushes. I know I told you when I was doing the strawberry bed that we had blueberry bushes. So these are our blueberry bushes. We've had these here I think since the first or second year that we've lived here. So they always do really well. So you can tell that they're starting to change colors. Not quite ready yet, but they usually are very full. Well, hello there. Hello there. What are you doing? Are you coming to say hi? Are you going to say hi too? These are our boys, our withers that we're still looking for homes for. But that's okay because they're good grazers, so they've been clearing out a lot of grassy area for us. So see, we've got these blueberries are probably, some of these are going to be ready to pick here in another day or two. They're really starting to turn purple and blue. They're good too. They're sweet. Then we have this one. This is our later one. This one turns after everybody else does. We pruned them all back this year, so this one's really grown. And then these are our raspberry bushes. So these were planted around behind the buck house where the grapevine is. But I couldn't get to it because it was constantly surrounded by poison ivy, and I'm highly allergic to poison ivy. So I told Mike, I said, we need to move them. So back in February, he moved them. I need to get some spray because they've got some bugs eating their leaves, all this rain we've had. So you can see that we were really surprised. We didn't think that we were going to get any berries this year. So actually, I called this a blackberry bush, but this is actually a raspberry bush. These are raspberry bushes. And then we've got more up here. So we've got a total of 5. And we've got some stray ones that are coming up back there that we'll probably try to find homes for. Mike needs to finish mowing, so ignore our grown-up grass back there. The rain has been giving us a hard time on trying to get caught up on everything. And then we'll drive over and I'll show you. We have apple trees and a pear tree. I think that's it. So we'll drive over. Cut that off so you guys can hear. Okay, so these are our apple trees and our pear trees. So I believe, gosh, I can't even remember what's what. But if I zoom in on this one, it kind of looks like this is going to be a pear tree. So I think these two, this one here, has gotten really big, and this one are pear trees. I think one is a Bartlett pear and one is, I don't remember, and the tags have probably come off since then. I think I have the information upstairs, but I believe those are pear trees. And then let's move up here and I'll show you. I think I can read the tag on this one. So let's go and see if we can read the tag. That one doesn't have a tag, but this, oh, it does. This is definitely an apple tree. So yeah, these are our apple trees. You can see that it's got a bunch of apples on it this year. I don't know if you guys can see that or not. We've got a bunch of apples on it this year. And this one, I can't read the tag from here, but I can probably read this one. Let's see what this one is here. Let me just walk down here and go through this gate, and let's just see what we have planted, because I don't remember. We used to have a plum tree planted here, but we got rid of it because it kept, whenever it would get the fruit on it, the wind would get up. The wind would blow the plums off and we never got anything, and it was just a mess. So we just got rid of it. It really started to not do good or look good. Okay, so this is a golden russet bosque pear dwarf. Excuse my dirty fingers, I've been in the garden. So this is a golden russet bosque pear. So this is a bosque pear tree, and I do not see any pears on this one yet. So he might be a little bit of a late bloomer, so we'll keep watching him. This one definitely, I think this is my Bartlett pear, but they're all dwarf trees. Yep, Bartlett pear dwarf. So he has plenty of pears on him, and they are actually looking really, really good. I think we got pears off of him last year. They were good. So we fertilized them. They've all been fertilized. I think we have to fertilize them again here pretty soon. All right, let's see what this one is. So he's got, there's a little apple here. So he does have some little apples on him. Let's see what he is. Oh, he's a golden delicious semi-dwarf. Okay, so this is a golden delicious. So there'll be yellow apples, which are my favorite apples. And then this one is full of apples, and he is a red Rome apple semi-dwarf. So yeah, he's full of apples here. So this one's doing really, really well. So yeah, so those are the fruit trees that we have. And then we have our peach tree in the backyard. So, and we've got a grapevine that's behind the boys' house, but I don't want to walk all the way over there right now because I have to go in and I have to go into their pen, and I really need to get moving on with my day. I have to go out and run some errands, and if I go in there, I'm going to have to sit down and pet the boys. And not that I wouldn't like to do that, but I don't have the time. If I go in there, it's going to be another 30 minutes. And I need to go in and get in the shower and get moving. So, okay, well, I'll come back later and show you our big garden that's down by the buck pen. Okay, guys, so I'm down here at the big garden, and I just finished weeding it. It's been a couple of days since I did the other video, Mike now needs to come through with the little rototiller in between the rows and get all of the little weeds out. But for the most part, so we have peas here. I have 2 rows of peas. We have 1 row of green beans, and I had to kind of stagger the second row. And then we've got potatoes. So the weird thing about the potatoes is I only planted 2.5 rows, but we've got some coming up on their own, I guess, from last year, which we've never had that to happen before. So yeah, I planted 2.5 rows, and I don't know where these other potatoes came from. So we've got, let's see, let me try and remember where I planted. So back here, I did not plant this far. So these are definitely ones that are coming back. I only planted as far as that one. So that was that row. This I did not plant this year. So those have definitely come back on their own. This was another row straight that way. And then you'll see these right here. Those were not planted for me either, because I did a straight row all the way up. So those over here are ones that have come back on their own. And then I did another half a row, which was these here. And then you'll see that there's some in the middle, like right there, up there, there, that I did not plant. So I guess they can come back. I didn't realize that. We didn't have a super cold winter with a lot of snow. So I have some beans here. I've got some bugs that are trying to nibble, so I need to go and get some. We usually use organic bug control, so I need to go up there and get that on them today, probably because we've had so much rain. And then we have a pumpkin vine that's coming back on its own. So me and Taylor feed the deer pumpkins in here every single year in the fall through the winter. We have the fence down. We have an electric fence up right now, and we put these flags, which I need to straighten them, but we put these flags around it to make the deer seem like it's higher than it is. But right here, I need to get that tightened up. We actually need to get another pole. So I need to get Mike to get another pole down here. So they typically stay out of the garden, even though this is only a 3-foot fence. If we put those flags around it, it seems to make them think that the fence is taller than it actually is. So yeah, so we need to fix that. But otherwise, that's it. So that is our bigger garden. So that's what we're planting in it this year. And as soon as the peas are done, which I don't know, I planted them on time, but it's gotten so warm so quickly that I'm hoping that they'll produce. They're blooming, so I'm hoping we get at least one picking off of them before it gets too hot. But once they're done, then I'll till that up and plant green beans. And I usually just keep planting green beans in succession all summer. Like if I had room right now, I would be planting another row of green beans, because these have gotten to a good height that they're starting to get little blooms on them. So I would be planting more, but since the peas are here and they're still working, we'll just leave them alone for a little bit. I could probably plant another row of green beans like across the front here, but the problem with this area is it floods. When we get really bad rains, it floods so badly. So we kind of don't have good luck with anything planted there. So I don't think I'm going to plant anything there. Probably a good thing to plant there would be like pumpkins or cantaloupe or watermelon. So maybe I'll consider putting something like that here. Probably not pumpkins, but maybe cantaloupe or watermelon that require more moisture. But again, we don't have a way to water this garden, so I try to keep things down here that don't need to be watered frequently. So anyways, that's the big garden. So I'm going to go get another green pole for here to get this propped up, and then I am going to head to the house. We're gonna check the garden. We are about 2 weeks after I made the last video, so I wanted to show you guys the garden. and what it looks like now. It's doing really well, as a matter of fact. So let me turn you around so you can see it. So when you walk in, I've got, these are some sunflowers that have just decided to come up on their own, and this is Taylor's bean plant that she did as a science experiment for biology. So we just put it in there. My oregano came back from last year. I'm going to get the pruners in just a minute and prune that down because it's starting to get out of control. Try and transplant some of those sunflower plants that are coming up on their own. So over here we have our broccoli, which it's doing good. I'll probably pick it this weekend because I can see a little bit of yellow coming up in them, and then we'll be done with that because it's really past its time for us. It's getting pretty hot here next week. We have our yellow squash here and there. No, zucchini. So these are zucchinis, green squash, and then those are our yellow squash. So you can see underneath of that bloom over there, you can see a little baby zucchini coming up. So they're doing really good. They're really happy where they are. And there's a little baby yellow squash. So they're really happy over here. So once I get these broccoli out of the way, it'll give them more room to stretch out. And then over here, we've got all of my peppers, which they're doing good. We've got some lettuce here that I need to pick this weekend. We picked the other one, and then I've got some more pepper plants that I did not get rid of that I need to put here to get them planted. So peppers are doing good. They're blooming nicely. You can see on this one, it's got a little bloom there. So they're doing good. These are the cucumbers. So this cucumber, I'm a little bit worried about. He's kind of turning a little bit yellow, but he's got some green leaves, so he might be okay. But we put this fence here for, you probably can't even tell that it's there, but I'll go like this. So we put this like fence here for them to trellis up on, and then these guys over here will trellis up on this fence. It just saves the space in the garden, and that way they're not going crazy and smothering my other vegetables. So these, the ones on that side are the pickling cucumbers, and then these are the regular cucumbers that I just planted a couple of days ago, so they'll grow. Usually they do really well. Over here are the herbs. So we've got stevia here, purple basil. My gosh, I can't think of the name. I don't even think I kept the tag. Dill. That's dill. Parsley and lemon balm. And then we've got basil here, which I need to break those off. They're kind of flowering a little bit, so I need to break those off. We've got chives that came back on its own, and then the rest of it is rosemary, which came back on its own from last year. I may have planted, I think I bought that rosemary this year, but the other 4 came back. So then over here are my tomatoes. So they're doing really well. I've even got some little baby tomatoes. He's coming up. And then over here, we've got a bunch of little cherry tomatoes, and some of them are even starting to turn colors. So they're coming. We've got a tomato on this plant. So yeah, they're doing good. I need to come through and feed them so that they go feed the runners so that they're going up and get them back in. This one has a lot of tomatoes on it. You can see them there. I think those are my Romas. Here's some. These have a lot. So yeah, the tomatoes are doing really, really good. So I need to come through and get them all situated tonight. This was a little tomato that came up on its own. I'm pretty sure it's going to be a cherry tomato. Something was eating the leaves, so I'm going to come out here tonight and put some stuff on it to stop that from happening. I thought maybe it was one of those worms, but there's nothing on it. So I think it was just some sort of a beetle that's gotten it. There's actually 2 plants there now that I'm looking at that. So we'll just see what he does. I put him in there. We'll see what he does. This is my, oh my gosh, I'm going to pronounce this wrong, tomatilla plant. I bought it. We've never grown one before. So we're going to try that this year. He's doing pretty good. So looking to see if he had any little babies on him because he's got a lot of bloom, but not yet, just the bloom. And then if we venture out here, we have this garden. So we've got quite a few of, let me come this way, the sun is not helping. So we've got some carrots here, and then we've got some onions. Our onions are doing really good. Some are just now coming up, but the onions are doing good. So yeah, so that is this garden. When I go down to do the goats in just a little bit, I will take you over and show you the other garden. I will probably have to pick peas this weekend. And the green beans were looking good. The potatoes were looking good. And then we've already been picking our, let me turn you back around, hold on. So yeah, so we'll probably have to pick like peas this weekend. The green beans are looking good. The potatoes are looking good. So that is that garden down there, a bigger garden. I'll show you that. And then our strawberry plants, they went crazy this year. I'm gonna have to separate them this year, but we did really good with them. We've already picked, I think, 3 times off of that, and I've been making strawberry jam with what we picked from them. I'm probably gonna have to pick again this weekend. Our blueberries are coming in. We picked a whole bunch of blueberries the other day, so once I get a good amount, I'll probably make some, well, we've got a lot of blueberry jam in the basement, so I probably won't do that. I'll probably just freeze blueberries and then we use them in muffins and stuff. But otherwise, the gardens are doing good so far. We've been getting some rain sporadically off and on, so it's been very helpful to have that. Then I don't have to water, and rainwater is always better. So all right, well, Mike is mowing, so I'm afraid he's going to move up this way, and then you will not be able to hear anything that I'm saying. So I'm going to show you guys the other gardens in just a little bit. Hi guys, we are down at the big garden. Hi boys. Hi boys. We are down at the big garden, so I wanted to show you this. I'm not going to go in because we have electric fence around it, but it's looking really good. So we've got our potatoes here in the front. They're doing really good this year. They're doing really well. And then we've got our pumpkin plant who has come up on its own. It's going to be stretching across the garden how we have it. Growing where the pumpkin plant is, those are green beans. So those are doing really well also. In fact, they'll be ready to be picked probably by the end of the week. We have the bloom for the pumpkin plant. It stands out like a sore thumb and all that green. And then if you go around here, we have our peas, which we picked yesterday, so they're looking a little bit rough. We got quite a bit. We got 3, I guess they're 3-gallon buckets, 2 gallons. I don't know how big those buckets are, but it's the ones we use, for the same size we use for the goats for water. We got 3 of those full of peas last night. So it looks like we're gonna have one more picking of peas before we'll be pulling them. We're supposed to have a lot of heat this week, so hopefully they'll do something before that heat comes in, because I think that heat's gonna really crush them. And then once these guys are done, we'll pull them, and then I'll plant another row of green beans. And what I do is I keep planting, like I'll plant green beans, and then once I pick these green beans and they're done, I'll pull them and plant green beans again. I am having my surgery this summer, so I'm hoping that everybody can maintain that for me until I'm up and able to get back down and do it myself. But that's usually the plan on how we do it. So yeah, so there's the big garden. This is usually what we plant in the big garden, stuff that doesn't need a whole lot of watering. And then we usually come down about once a week and run the rototiller through it to keep the weeds down in between the rows. So that's it. All right, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video on our gardens, and I'll try to keep you guys updated on the gardening as the summer moves on. Have a great week, guys.